Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. I heard it in the womb, and I'll take it to my tomb, and I'll answer your call. I heard it in the womb, and I'll take it to my tomb, and I'll answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Each step I take to you, my bay'ah I renew, and I will never fall. Each step I take to you, my bay'ah I renew, and I will never fall. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. You called on Ashura, where are my Shia? In response, I will crawl. You called on Ashura, where are my Shia? In response, I will crawl. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. To my neck they'll put a knife, they'll want to take my life. To my neck they'll put a knife, they'll want to take my life, but I'll never withdraw. To my neck they'll put a knife, they'll want to take my life, but I'll never withdraw. Because your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Your servants at your door, your servants at your door to answer your call. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifinaik. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. Oh dear saints, of Islam, oh our dear heroes, oh our dear princes. We send our salutations to you both. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. And our dear viewers, once again, thank you very much for joining us live here from the holy city of Karbala. We welcome you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And inshallah, we hope you have enjoyed all of the programs over the past few nights. And we hope you've been benefiting from the clips that we have been uploading day by day. We hope to serve you, the dear servants of Aba Abdullah. This is our aim, and this is what we wish to try and do, to bring through to you across the world the buzz, the energy, and the vibe that's currently here within the holy city of Karbala. This is what we hope to do, and we wish that you could tell us how we are doing, and if there's things that you wish for us to cover, please do get in touch via Facebook, via Twitter, via Instagram, via YouTube. The list goes on. Don't be afraid. We wish to find your comments. We wish to try and do our best to serve you, inshallah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Over the past few nights, we've illustrated to you how busy this holy city is getting, how much louder this holy city is getting, and more importantly, how many times the blessings of Aba Abdullah are being bestowed upon the people via his servants, the Khiddam, who are trying to serve the Zawar of Aba Abdullah al-Hussein in the best way that they can. And on behalf of myself and all the other Zawar, we extend our thanks to the Khiddam of Aba Abdullah for serving us so nobly in such an incredible manner. Further to that, we illustrated to you the cookers on the side of the road. People were asking, where do the Zawar get their food from if they can't afford any? And we showed you. We showed you the cookers on the side of the road, outside the shrine of Abul Fadl al-Abbas, the amount of various food that are there for free, and they work from breakfast through to lunch, through to dinner, catering for millions of people, as many as they can, for absolutely free. And as a result of that, a few people started asking, okay, they have their food, but then where do they sleep? Because we mentioned in one of the previous nights that the hotels are completely full. We had an interview with one of the hotel owners, and they mentioned their hotel is completely booked and has been completely booked for some time. Thus, we wish to now show you where the Zawar sleep if they haven't managed to get a hotel. And we mentioned that they sleep on the streets, they sleep in every single corner that they can find. And we promised that we'd bring to you what this is like and how they are all wrapped up under blankets, because I can assure you the weather out here at night gets extremely cold. It's a cold that really bites your bones, that really engulfs your body and makes you shiver. Yet these Zawar don't care. If they don't have a room to stay in, or if they don't have food, they will still come marching and calling to Imam al-Hussein, and inshallah you will see their devotion via the amounts of people who are wrapped under blankets in the streets to sleep at night. The dome encompasses over all over the shrines, but to the side you can see the many different people there who are under the blankets, who are wrapped up as warm as they can get with their families. This footage was taken at around 3-4 a.m. just the other morning, and you can just see the sheer amount of people there. Yet at the same time, people are awake, people are walking, they're doing their ziyarah, they're walking to and from the shrines, because people are arriving into the city at various different times. As we look to the other side, we get that first-hand view of what the dear Zawar who are sleeping outside are subject to. When they have that moment when they don't think that they can handle the cold, they look up to those beautiful domes of Abu Fadl al-Abbas and Imam al-Hussein, and their energy levels, their spirits are reignited, they are rekindled by those two loving kings. But we must consider that there are young children as well who also have to go through this cold, who also have to take on this burden. There are men, there are women, young and old, of various different countries who are used to various different climates, and it's quite an experience. And inshallah, we feel for what they have to go through. And as the various people walk through, they then exit Bain al-Haramain and they see even more people. As you can see here, we are outside Bain al-Haramain, yet there are people still sleeping on the side of the roads. It's almost like every single gap is filled up with another Zawar sleeping, and day by day these will only get busier and the spaces will become less and less. And inshallah, we hope that their efforts and their struggles are rewarded by Aba Abdullah. As seen in the footage there, you can really understand the sheer amount of people. If there are that many sleeping on the streets, if there are that many people sleeping on the streets, it makes you think just how many people there are here in the holy city of Karbala. And remember, that was taken a couple of mornings ago, and well, if you could see behind me still how busy the streets are at this time in the morning, which is uncommon for Karbala, you'd really then understand even more how busy this city is getting. More and more people are arriving. Another set of friends from London have just arrived, and they've embarked on their walk from Najaf to Karbala, because most people have just left or are leaving the holy city of Najaf that contains our dear King Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, to make their way to the holy land of Karbala. The walk in itself is around 80 to 90 kilometers, and along the whole way there are mawakib, as we've seen, that fill up the streets. If you need tea, it's on offer. If you need a massage, it's on offer. If you need somewhere to rest, it's on offer. Everything is provided for you. And once you enter the holy city of Karbala, this is no different. The services continue, the buzz continues, the excitement continues. And just as I say that, we're able to hear another mawkib making their way through the streets in the languages of Farsi, other times in Urdu and in Arabic. And in fact, as we left our office just a few moments ago to come to the studio here just outside the shrine of Aba Abdullah, we were faced with another mawkib leaving the shrine of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, where they were taking replica shrines through the streets for people to observe and to mourn and grieve over the symbolism that each of these hold. And these mawakib will simply continue to increase. And they all call out for that grief for Aba Abdullah. And it would not surprise me one bit if one of these mawakib contain our dear Imam al-Hujjah, Sahib al-Asr wal-Zaman. Because he here has come to mourn his great-grandfather. I'm sure of it. He here has come to say to his dear great-grandfather, how did you go through this ordeal? How did you manage it? How did you pick these 72 companions? Because I myself am looking for 313 of them. And whilst he looks over Karbala and all the Zawar that's visiting, I dread to think what goes through his head when he sees people like myself and the kind of people that we are, and we're the people that are meant to make up his army. How is there any hope for him to choose from us? He knows each of our deeds inside and out. He receives the reports from us. And I just hope that he has the heart to forgive us and overlook them. Like I said, as we're talking, the noise from the mawkib just outside the studio is getting louder and louder. They beat their drums, they have their cymbals, and they're at the top of their voices. And it's remarkable. From around just after Fajr time, these mawakib leave and they engulf the streets. They travel through the streets. I'm unsure if you can hear them, but it's extremely loud for them to be coming through the glass windows here that surround the studio and the soundproof walls. It's quite something incredible. The atmosphere is insane, and alhamdulillah, this goes on throughout all of Karbala. And what we hope to do in the next clip is to bring you some footage from Bain al-Haramain taken just this afternoon, verging into the evening, where you'll see firsthand the mawakib making their way through the shrine. I've mentioned this a couple of times before, that a lot of the mawakib on Arba'een Eve, on the night of Arba'een, they start just outside Abu Abdullah shrine, and they make their way through to Bayn al-Haramain and to Abu Fadl al-Abbas, singing their eulogies, reciting their poetry. The numbers are massive and they're from various countries, various provinces, and inshallah we now wish to bring you some footage from Bayn al-Haramain where exactly this was happening just earlier on today. Currently we are overlooking the area surrounding Abu Fadl al-Abbas' shrine, this side towards Bayn al-Haramain, and you can see the amount of people here. 3 days left to go to Arba'een, and we've brought to you footage from how busy the area has been over the past few days. However, I think today you can quite literally see the huge increase in numbers, a mass increase in numbers. Those areas that were once empty are now completely full. They are packed out with various people coming from across various countries. It's an extraordinary sight that still the Mawakib can make their way through, conducting their Lotmiyad, conducting their rituals for Imam al-Hussein to mourn the Arba'een, to mourn the 40th day after the anniversary of his passing, and they do it in various formats. Some go around beating their heads, others hitting themselves with chains, others beating their chests. Many different methods, all inshallah accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They come in their thousands, they've come in their millions, and we hope one day they will also come in their billions. This will never stop despite the attempts to cease it. The Shi'as of Ali ibn Abi Talib will continue to flock to Karbala every year, and you can just see the amount of people here. You can see the beauty of as they make their way down Bayn al-Haramain, how the people just part and then join in as well. It's simply stunning, and the pictures can only do it justice. As you saw, some there beat their chests, some carry chains and beat their backs, others sit and stand, cover their eyes whilst their tears flow. There are various different methods of conducting the sha'a'ir of Hussein, the rituals of Hussein, the methods in which we remember him. And inshallah, you yourselves at home across the globe conduct your own methods. Just before Ashra Muharram started, I was contacted by a brother from Nigeria who sent me a few videos of the methods in which they carry out their rituals of Imam al-Hussein. And it was quite beautiful to see the way that they conduct it. It was very organized. Line after line, it would start with the eldest men, then the women, then the young boys, and then the young girls. And they'll all be in perfect lines, almost like an army, chanting the same words in the local language. And it was something to see something from a different area, yet on the same belief track that we all have, was beautiful. And it just highlighted further how this message of Abu Abdullah is so universal. And I look forward to, inshallah, seeing the brothers and sisters from the West African areas here in Karbala. So if you are around in the holy city, do get in touch. You can't miss us. We're right next to the shrine of Abu Fadl al-Abbas. We have a huge sign that says Imam Hussein TV. Do get in touch. We'd love to have a chat with you. We'd love to get to know how your journey has been, inshallah. The young children also partake in the sha'a'ir, in the rituals, remembering Abu Abdullah. From young, their parents show them the different methods. The parents instill with them the emotion, just like the parents instill with them salah, just like the parents instill with them sawm and zakat and khums and so on. The sha'a'ir of Hussein is a part of living, it's a part of faith, and it's a part of our lives. Every Muharram and into Safar, we remember the tragedy that took place in the area just behind us in the holy city of Karbala. It's tough at points when we're celebrating the happy occasions like the Mawalid to recall that this area was once an area that contained a battleground, that contained people who we love whom so dearly, butchered and beheaded upon these grounds. And to further think that our dear Lady Zainab salamullahi alayha had to witness every single bit of these trials. It's tough to swallow, But what we must remember is that when we come to the holy city of Karbala, is that it isn't a joke. It's very serious. Conduct your ziyarah with a heavy heart. Approach Abu Abdullah and Abu Fadl with an open, clean heart to embrace them so that they may give you everything that they have for you coming to them. And one method in which we can do this is by conducting the rituals that remember Abu Abdullah. The dear scholar and the dear Ayatollah Samahat Sayyid Sadiq al-Shirazi released a fatwa just recently where he said something quite beautiful. He said for us to continue to conduct the sha'air, the rituals of Abu Abdullah in his remembrance, even if we lose our lives in the process. Even if we lose our lives in the process. Meaning what? Not meaning that you come to Karbala ready to kill yourself within a moment. No, you don't go with the intention of suicide before it's misquoted. No. It means that even if you know there is danger on the way to Karbala, that from your home to the airport or from your home to Karbala, you may encounter a suicide bomber who could take you away from this world. If it means that whilst conducting your sha'air that you may lose your life, whatever the case, continue. Continue. This is the power and this is the significance put on the remembrance of Abu Abdullah. And when we compare, and this is quite interesting, when we compare the pilgrimage to Hajj to the pilgrimage to Karbala, there are differences. There are similarities and differences. Similarities in the sense that your spirituality increases a huge amount. Spirituality in the sense that the moment you see the minarets in Mecca and in Medina, and equally the moment you see the minarets in Karbala, your eyes begin to release tears like it's no other. The moment you see the Kaaba and the moment you then see the Dharih in Karbala, you continue to weep and cry and ask for everything. However, there is a difference. Firstly, the pilgrimage to Hajj is wajib. Wajib once in a person's lifetime. However, the pilgrimage to Karbala is mustahab. But the pilgrimage to Hajj can become haram. How? The pilgrimage to Karbala, to Mecca, to Masjid al-Haram becomes haram if you cannot afford it or if your life is in danger whilst you're on the way. So if you know that between that moment you leave your house to the moment you conduct your tawaf and you go to Mina, etc., etc., if you know there is a high chance or a threat that you could lose your life, that wajibat becomes haram. And you cannot go, you must wait until it is perfectly safe. However, the beauty is that when you go to Karbala, it is mustahab. And it remains mustahab. It remains mustahab if you know the route is completely clear and you'll be able to kiss the dhari of Abu Fadl Abbas and Imam al Hussein. And it still remains mustahab if when you're on that way and you're about to kiss the shrine, that you may lose your life in the process due to the cowards that take the Shia lives away whilst they go to the hellfire and we are raised to the heavens with the master of the martyrs. This is the beauty of the ziyarah, of the pilgrimage, of the visitation of Karbala and those who live in the area. And this is why the Khiddam, the servants of Abu Abdullah, give you everything. They do not wish for you to leave empty-handed. They wish to supply you with every single good that they possibly can, because they feel as if it's their duty, because they live in this land and they must host us, the foreigners, as we come in. However, all we require is the acceptance and the acceptance of our labbaik and our ziyarah of the beautiful personalities. This is all we require. And along the way, whilst you're walking from Najaf to Karbala, or if you're walking from Basra to Karbala, however or wherever you may be walking from, we mentioned that you come across various mawaqib that offer different services And we've shown you over the past couple of nights and few nights the various different services that are on offer. If you've missed them, then do not worry, you can jump on our YouTube and Facebook and everything is there for you to find the various different mawakib that we've gone into, that we've talked about, that we've spoken to the owners of. However, we wish to bring you a mawkib of a very, very big difference. Just like yesterday, I wish to leave you in a bit of a suspense and a bit of a surprise. So have a quick chat at home to see if you can think or guess what's about to come on your screen. However, I can assure you that this next mawkib, the service that it offers is quite unique. In fact, just before in the studio, I should mention, one of the colleagues mentioned that the word mawkib, how would you translate it? And eventually we came to the conclusion that we don't really think there is an English equivalent to the word mawkib. However, we eventually defined it as a group of servants, a group of servants. And what you're about to see in this clip is a group of beloved servants of Abu Abdullah. We have seen various different mawakib over today, various different services, and we've just found this one, which is again especially unique. The heat is slowly coming. It's slowly getting warmer and warmer and warmer. Zawar have been walking for a good, 10 hours now. Thus, they need something refreshing, and the khadim of the Ahlul Bayt here is serving up orange juice, adding fresh oranges to orange syrup, and you can see the crowd around us, the amount of people that really desire this service. Such orange juice really refreshes them, gets their sugar levels back up, gets them walking heavily and back to Imam al-Hussein, and you can see the amount that he's producing, the amount of people that are awaiting this service, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept his efforts. Many people make their way to Karbala by walking, despite the threat that they could lose their lives, despite the fact that bombs could be waiting just next to them. However, the Shi'as have dealt with thousands against us, and we'll just simply deal with it again. We're used to it. It started from those in Saqifa who couldn't accept the truth. It continued to Muawiyah la'natullahi alayhi. It then furthered to Yazid ibn Muawiyah la'natullah alayhi with the atrocities that his army committed on the land just behind us. And then you look to current day dictators like Saddam Hussein, who continued this torture against the Shi'as. We look to Pakistan, where yet another academic has been killed, another doctor has been targeted, and the mass Shia genocide continues in Pakistan. We look to Bahrain, where the oppression continues. We look to Saudi Arabia, where the oppression in the various areas there continues. And even now in the West, where this Wahhabi Salafi ideology is embracing many people, with the one aim of trying to bend the truth. Because once they admit that Yazid was wrong in killing Imam al-Hussein, they then have to realize that they are also wrong in saying that Yazid that Muawiyah was a terrible man. And after that, they must then realize that there are certain three people who also were completely wrong. And the Shia, we will never stop telling them the truth. The truth is our duty to express. The truth is our duty to declare. Thus, a message to you all across the world: ensure that you keep telling the truth, however in a very polite and behavioral manner. Tell them the truth, use their own books, don't use poetic license when speaking to them. Tell them the facts. The facts are enough. Simply tell them who committed the crime of killing Fatima az-Zahra salamullahi alayha. Tell them who committed the crime of firing the arrows into Imam al-Hassan's dead body. Tell them who committed the crime or crimes of killing 72 of the best individuals who had ever blessed this earth, and so on, so on, so on. It is our duty to tell the truth, however in a polite and well akhlaqi based manner. And you need to continue in your visitations, be it to Karbala, be it to Iran, wherever the holy shrines are based, ensure that you try and do your best to go, because they are a method for us to reconnect our souls with our dear perfect 14 alayhim salam. Thus we must try and do everything we can to embark on these trips. If you perhaps do not feel like you're spiritually uplifted at the moment, or you're not spiritually with it, book a trip to ziyarah. Because once you book that trip, you know yourself you need to start changing. And even if up until the point you come out of the taxi and you look at the shrine and you look at the dome, you'll start to change there. The hardest of hearts becomes as soft as sand when you approach the shrines of the dear beloved. You know exactly what we mean by this. When you see those gleaming domes, when you see those gleaming minarets, they take you by surprise. Just today, I was sitting in the office at the time of Maghrib Adhan, just before, when they were reciting the Quran. And despite having been here for over a week now, I still just sat there, mesmerized. And I just felt a sense of calmness about me, a sense of spiritual upliftment. These men are so grand that they can emit their beauty, they can emit their perfection through even the people that are around them and the structures that have been built for them. When you see the sunrise in the background and the sunset, it just matches the perfection of that creation of the world that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done, is matched in the perfection of these characters, these infallible characters. Alhamdulillah, many flock to Karbala by walking. As you know, some say 6, some say 8 million walk to Karbala, and I'm sure that number has increased by an incredible amount and will continue to increase. And this walk has had some fantastic knock-on effects. In the holy city of Mashhad, where our dear 8th Imam, Imam Al-Ridha alayhi salam, and I feel I must also mention his dear sister, Sayyida Ma'suma alayhi salam, where in Mashhad Imam Al-Ridha is buried, we know that the shrine there is massive. There are many courtyards, there are many areas, and the shrine is expanding and expanding and expanding, and there's even a hotel within the shrine itself. It's beautiful. However, I mention this because this walk from Najaf to Karbala, this walk from Basra to Karbala and so on, has now started in Iran as well. At the Shahadat time of our dear holy 8th Imam, many people now embark upon a walk to the shrine of Imam Al-Ridha. In Iran, Imam Al-Ridha is their spiritual guide, is their everything. The only Imam buried in that land, thus they have a special connection to him. And an incredible amount of people visit his beautiful shrine. Thus they too embark upon this walk, calling out their master's name, seeking his intercession. And I just wish, inshallah, that all of us here in Karbala, all of you viewers at home, all of our family and friends, we are all able to embark not only on the walk from Najaf to Karbala, but also on the walk to Mashhad. And inshallah, we hope that this walk will continue to expand. And we'll start walking from Karbala to Najaf for Imam Ali. We'll start to walk from Karbala or Najaf to Kazmiyya, to Samarra, and also to Sham, and also to Medina, and inshallah to the right up to the shrine, the grave of Imam al-Hasan, of Imam al-Sajjad, of Imam al-Baqir, and of Imam al-Sadiq alayhim salam, in the holy area of Jannatul Baqi, where the Shi'as are not even allowed to go and visit the people that they consider closer than their own parents. Inshallah, we are granted this opportunity in the future. Ilahi Ameen. We now look at one of the walks, the walk from Najaf to Karbala, and when those who embark upon that walk, as they enter the holy city of Karbala, the first thing that they see within the holy city is the dome of Abu Fadl Abbas. It just glows at them. They can see it from kilometers away. there you saw the sheer amounts of people in Bayn al-Haramain conducting their Latmiyah. And these are the Zawar who have just entered that city, as we've mentioned, and travel straight into Bayn al-Haramain, and those are the emotions that befall upon them. They're full of grief, they're full of sorrow, and they are full of dedication to Abu Fadl Abbas, having seen the beautiful shrine that will bring to you in just a moment, that moment that they first bestow their eyes upon that shrine and they conduct their ziyarah. Will bring that to you in just a few moments. But what you could see from the clip just there was that raw feeling of grief and sadness, where they showed to Imam al-Hussein and Abu Fadl Abbas their devotion and their love for their two masters. They beat their chests, they call out their names, they cry, and more people join the atmosphere. They make the atmosphere. It doesn't matter what time in the morning it is. Even now, like I said, there was mawakib passing through, and they're incredibly loud, because at this time of Arba'een, people want to be involved in this chehlum, as they say in Urdu, majlis, in this outstanding and beautiful 40th day after a majlis, as initiated by Jabir ibn Abdullah al-Ansari. It was started by him when he visited the holy land of Karbala, the first person to visit the holy land of Karbala on the 20th of Safar. And many mufassirin tell us that this was not done by accident, and that this was done deliberately. He deliberately set out to come on this day. I believe it was Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam who said that the skies grieve for Imam al-Hussein for 40 days. Thus is the significance of the number 40. And in the Holy Quran we have various stories that also narrate about the 40-day period. And inshallah we all will have that opportunity to come here for the Arba'een, to travel from Najaf to Karbala, and to witness that view that we were mentioning before, that view that as you approach Abu Fadl Abbas, what it looks like, how it engages with you, and that moment you read the ziyarah. And what we wish to bring to you is that feeling around what goes on there. The various people who have just arrived, the various people who are starting their ziyarah, and we hope in this coming clip you'll be able to connect with them whilst they say Assalamu alayka ya Abul Fadl Abbas. Behind us you can see the beautiful golden minarets of Abu Fadl Abbas sandwiched between the clock tower too. It's an exceptional view, and it's one that the Zawar see when walking from Najaf to Karbala. This is the first thing that they see. It's their first glimpse of Karbala as they enter, and it's about 4 kilometers down the road where they'll see this, and that inspires them to keep their legs moving for the last few meters. Of the Dhari right now, you can see how packed it is and how busy it is. Many of the Zawar are now arriving in the holy city of Karbala. You can see how many of them are enabling and hoping to touch that holy grave. Many of them chuck their scarves and various clothing on top of the shrine of Abu Fadl Abbas and Imam al-Hussein, and you can see them reaching out. You can see the amount of people, because they understand the significance of this holy man. And inshallah we say to him, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Please hear our calls. And oh viewers, whilst we look at those golden minarets and the golden dome of Aba Abdullah, raise your hands in dua and ask him to intercede for you. Ask him to be the one that when you leave this world, he will hold your hand. He will help you through the time of barzakh, and he will testify for you in that you were one of his lovers on the plains of mahshar in akhirah. Each and every one of those people that are there aiming to cling onto that grave seek just one thing: and that's the acknowledgement of Aba Abdullah. This is the beauty of this grave, inshallah, and I hope we all have the opportunities to visit this beautiful area. Alhamdulillah, as the show draws to an end, another end, the time really flies by. We hope that the footage that we've brought to you today has once again enabled you to connect with those here in Karbala, with the Zuwar here in Karbala. The numbers are going to increase, and the filming for us is going to become tougher and tougher to take place, because it's just so difficult to find a little bit of space to even take some filming. However, we'll endeavor to continue to bring it all to you. This is our aim. This is our duty, to serve the servants of Aba Abdullah yourselves, inshallah. Thus, please do get in touch. Let us know what you wish us to cover. A few of you mentioned that you would like to see the various maqam around Karbala. And what we hope to do in the coming days, once Arba'een finishes, is to bring you almost like an online brochure, a videography brochure of all the various maqam within the holy city of Karbala. The area where Ali al-Akbar was hit, the area where Abdullah al-Rabi' Ali al-Asghar lost his life, the areas in which Abu Fadl Abbas lost his arms. All these various areas we wish to bring to you, and will produce something for those who are coming to do the ziyarah, so they're able to understand where they need to go, what the various a'mal there are to do in each of these places. Thus, thank you for your suggestions on that front, and know that we are working on it. But for those of you who haven't got in touch yet, we'd love to hear what you will have to think. Everything is there for you to visualize and to see, so that you can provide us with feedback that will help us produce better shows for you, inshallah. However, like I said, the time is up and we must start to end the show, unfortunately. But this gives us another opportunity to join hands with you, O dear viewers, to send our salams to Aba Abdullah and his 72 companions, containing his dear brother Abu Fadl Abbas. So whilst we look over those golden domes once again and those golden minarets, join me by standing and putting your hand upon your heart and sending your heartfelt emotions and condolences and salams to Aba Abdullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifina'ik. عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين، خصوصا سيدي ومولاي أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين. O dear saints of Islam, please accept our salams, please acknowledge our labbaik, and please let us be amongst those who are granted the opportunity to serve in that army that we await to avenge your death from your dear grandson Imam al-Hujjah, Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman. And we end by sending our salutations, our peace and our blessings to Muhammad the Nabi, through to Muhammad al-Mahdi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We look forward to having you join us once again tomorrow evening. Keep up to date, keep in touch online, and inshallah we will see you tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
حسين حسين أنوار حسين أنوار حسين حسين أنوار حسين حسين أنوار حسين حسين